Well, Gaffer, it's great to catch up with you. I'm sure you're very busy at the minute. How are you settling in here at Macclesfield?
Yeah, very well, very well. It's been since we last spoke when the first day I was in at Moss Rose. It seems to have been a month ago, but it's only a couple of weeks. Basically, I've had a foam tattoo to my right ear hole for 2 weeks, trying to get deals over the line, trying to get players in. I've had every agent in Britain contacting me with players. We managed to get, half a dozen boys contracted. I've got a lot of plates spinning in the air as we speak. Some the supporters will be, certainly have heard of and know. Others are ones that are probably younger ones with potential. But listen, there's a long way to go for us between now and the start of the season to get a squad together, but we're moving in the right direction.
So in some respects, Tim, does it get easier the longer the recruitment process goes along? Because when you were first brought in, you were tasked with creating a whole squad. We've knocked half a dozen off there now. So in that respect, you've got less players to recruit, but I guess the players you're looking at and need to make an opinion on, does that task get easier or does it not really matter?
Easier in terms of which positions becomes blindingly obvious, what you need and require. I mean, if you've got yourself 3 or 4 midfield players in centrally, then and you've got no centre backs or no strikers, then you know what you've got to target. Listen, I'm still looking across the board really. We've got some younger ones for the future with definite potential that we've identified. Gary and myself had identified a year or so ago when we were at Solihull. So we've got a couple of them under the roof. But also, I'm mindful that you need to bring in lads with hardened experience, boys who've been there, seen it, done it, worn the t-shirt types. So I've got a few of those that I'm talking to, we're in negotiations with. But the frustrating, he's playing a waiting game really. Lads are, some of them seem to be in no rush. They're waiting and hoping that maybe an EFL club might be able to come in last minute or whatever. So, it's just playing that frustrating waiting game a little bit. But listen, as I said to the supporters in my first chat with you, we're moving heaven and earth to try and get a team together, for the start of the season that's competitive and a team that we can then begin to mould and get into a unit, a cohesive unit that can sustain a real push.
So obviously with yourself as a former player, I guess you can understand potential players' situation and their mindset. So if there was a player there who maybe is holding out till a couple of weeks and you understand why, what would you say to them to get that deal done?
Well, listen,
would you?
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you're playing a game of brinkmanship, aren't you? Because if what you're hoping lands in doesn't land in, you're unemployed. You know what I mean? That's how football rolls now. There's a lot of lads out there, coming into the beginning of the season now that are still not employed. And there's mouths to feed. A lot of them have got kids and mortgages and houses and everything that goes like a normal working guy. And, they've got to also have it in the back of their mind that they need some income. So, there comes a line where you need to make a decision as a player. Obviously, because of the way the cards have been dealt here a little bit, we're very, very last minute. So, as I said previously to you, a lot of this should have been done, months ago. But so we're now really playing catch up. But listen, we've worked, we've moved heaven and earth really to get all these bodies in and plates spinning and negotiations ongoing, and even the bodies that we've got over the line. It's been really hard work, and for the next period of time, 2 or 3 weeks, it's going to be more of the same.
You said about obviously players maybe holding out, but from our point of view, and as you've alluded to, we are fairly late in the day and this, that and the other, but at the same time, we still have to be confident and go through due diligence to make sure the players we are bringing in are right, rather than just getting squad numbers in for the sake of it.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, that's one of the key factors. It's easy to jump, on a real limited budget. If I go and blew that in the first 2 weeks because I'm flapping about panicking that, I need to get 16 bodies together. All of a sudden you find yourself way short when, at kick-off time. As you're quite right, due diligence is the correct word. We've had to go in depth into players, make phone calls about character and, what they bring to the table as people, as human beings. Are they good lads? Are they wrong uns? And then obviously you're looking at the technical side of it. What do they bring to the party? We're long enough in the tooth to have done all that. If some of these ones begin to drop in, and that's a frustrating thing, it's the waiting game. Obviously I want it done yesterday because I want to move on and put my head on the pillow at night and think, well, okay, brilliant. I've got a real solid 14 there, or I need another 3 or 4, to supplement. But we're not quite at that stage yet. But we're working hard towards it.
When we last spoke, Tim, you emphasised the role of youth development, especially at a club like Macclesfield Town, how crucial that is. With that in mind, it was great to see Rocco sign up in particular this week, isn't it?
Absolutely. Listen, Rocco's got pedigree. He came through Man United, so he was involved there as a very young lad. We're at the size of our football club. If you're producing a player through your youth system, your academy system, then that's got to be the way forward. I was told when I first walked in the door that he's got a lot of potential. A lot of people were glowing about him in terms of, in terms of almost being in and around a first team group. Now he's been in training with us, every day more or less since we've been in. We're going to play a little in-house friendly. We've got enough bodies to go 11v11 tomorrow, so we'll have 3 25s tomorrow morning. So Rocco, he'll get a chance to show what, he'll be in one of those teams in the left back there for maybe 25-50 minutes. Let's have a look at him. Got 3 games coming up next week, so again he'll be involved. We'll slowly drip him in, have a look at him, and if a lad like him comes to the party and he's in amongst, the first team squad, we've produced him for free. Now the next thing is to develop him, and we either get many years and the fans get a lot of joy out of watching him play, or he makes the club a fortune moving forward. Either way, it's a win-win for the football club.
Which leads me on brilliantly to my last point, which is about matches. Obviously you've alluded to there, we've got an in-house one tomorrow, we've got 2 confirmed as of now at Witten and at Telford. How excited are you to actually get out there and play games, or, more to the point, what can you get from playing games which maybe you can't on the training field?
Oh, listen, there's no substitute for games, certainly no substitute for assessing players in games. Listen, I've seen some of the greatest trainers in the world midweek, and then, come Saturday they're like Scotch mist. So, I'd rather have, someone that's probably not quite so good during the week but is absolutely brilliant on a Saturday. But we've got a lot of trialists in at the moment, as you'd expect. So, we need to run the rule over, all of those. So the more games, the merrier as far as we're concerned. You're quite right. As I said, we have an in-house one tomorrow, Witten on Tuesday. We've got another game on Thursday, which has been organised. I'm not sure, it might even be at Moss Rose. So we've got games coming up, Telford, as you say, at the end of the month. If we need one and we can organise one in time, we may well try and fit another one in midweek at some stage. If not, we may still have the bodies around for another in-house yet. But we need to watch lads in game situations, see how they react to certain things, certain scenarios. All right, it is friendlies, it is what it is, but there's no substitute for that. So absolutely looking forward to one, maybe on Monday now we can start to get some principles, a little bit of what I'm looking for. So far it's been football fitness and fitness more than anything else. I've not really had a chat with the group as such, but I think starting from early part of next week I'll sort of sit them down and tell them what I'm expecting, what I'm looking for from my team, how I expect us to try and hurt people, and really then the process is underway then to start getting a little bit more tactical as well as the physical side of it, although we're still very much playing catch up with the physical side, so that's going to be ongoing. But it's late in the day now and I need to start getting 1 or 2 principles bedded in. So as from next week, they can expect to start looking at a bit of shape, a little bit of patterns, if you like, what we're looking for offensively, what I'm looking for defensively, and go from there, and then start introducing some restarts and set plays, if you like, and look at a few things. So with the time scale now so short to kick off time, then we need to start looking at that.
Well, Tim, thanks for taking time out. They're incredibly busy, so we'll let you go. We'll catch up with you soon.
Top man, nice to see you.